Myself is Trisha, working as assistant professor in MBI College of Engineering and Technology in Mechanical Engineering Department. Today our topic is reversibility and irreversibility. Already in our first unit, the topic has come. Uh, Most of the people know what is the reversibility and irreversibility. So, in second law of thermodynamics, enables us to divide all processes into two classes. So, divided into two processes. So, one is reversible or ideal process, and second one is irreversible or natural process. So a reversible process is one which is performed in such a way that at the end of the process both the system and surroundings may be restored to their initial states without producing any changes in the rest of the universe. Let the state of A of a system be represented by A, and let be the system be taken to positive B, state B by the following the path A to B. For example, one way is there. I will walk from A to B at the same way. I will not change my route at the same distance at the same path and come with B to A. So here, what is happened? A to B is same position and B to A is the same position, and my energy will not change. At the same way here also, A to B is one process and B to A same another process, but the path is the same. The path is same, but there is no any change. There is doesn't change any losses like friction. That is the meaning. Here what is happened like that, there is no any changes. There is no any changes, and its efficiency has come 100% because of there is no changes like friction losses, heat losses, and so many of losses. Actually when we are doing the actual process, we are having so many of losses, but in our reversible process there is no any losses like friction, heat losses. So if you have no any losses, we will get 100% efficiency in our reversible process. In our reversible process, we are getting the 100% efficiency compared to the irreversible process. Actually, reversible process is a ideal process, because in our actual process we will not get 100% efficiency. It always gets a less than 100% efficiency. Why? Because we are getting the less than 100% efficiency. You are running the engine, it will get some losses like friction, heat losses, pumping losses. There are so many of losses when you are running the engine. So because of this losses, we are getting our efficiency less than 100%. Okay, so that is why our irreversible process is the actual process, and reversible process is the ideal process. In our ideal process we will not get any losses, and it will give 100% efficiency. Okay, and the next so reverse process, the system is taken from state B to state A, followed the same path. Here we first followed the A to B, and next followed the B to A. If the system so that is the cause of reversibility and irreversibility. And next any natural process carried out with a finite gradient is an irreversible process. A reversible process, which consists of a succession of equilibrium states, is an idealized hypothesis process approached only as a limit. All spontaneous processes are irreversible process. So here our natural process or spontaneous process or irreversible process, and reversible process is a ideal process. And next, causes of irreversibility. What is the causes of irreversibility? Friction, unrestrained expansion. So friction, which means already you know what is the friction, and unrestrained expansion, which means it is restrained to when it is expanded. Heat transfer through a finite temperature difference. So the finite, so not a it's like a little change of temperature difference is nothing but a causes of irreversibility. And mixing of two different substances. So those are all the causes of irreversibility. Examples for irreversibility. Okay. And next, the lack of equilibrium. Lack of equilibrium, mechanical, thermal, or chemical, between the system and its surroundings. Lack of equilibrium, which means there is a very minute. So that is a lack, which means very vacuum. So that is the meaning of lack of equilibrium. So when we take the mechanical, thermal, or chemical, between system and its surroundings, or between two systems, or two parts of the same system. So our same system or system and surroundings are two parts of same system having a lack of equilibrium causes a spontaneous change, which is a irreversible process. Heat transfer through a finite temperature difference, free expansion, or some irreversible process. Okay. And next, maximum efficiency is achieved. Maximum efficiency is achieved by reversible engines, which must always be in equilibrium, avoid friction, avoid heat transfer. So maximum efficiency, how to achieve by reversible engines? Always be equilibrium, avoid friction, avoid heat transfer. If we must have, if we must have if you must have heat transfer, it should be through infinitesimal temperature differences gt, not finite delta t. So this is why we how to get the maximum efficiency we get, because of our reversible engines be an equilibrium and avoid friction and avoid heat transfer. So those are all the terms which is related to get maximum efficiency in reversible engines. Next, this is very important topic, and just normally I will discuss this topic, and then after I will give the clear notes. So what is Carnot cycle? Actually, in this Carnot cycle, so here in our Carnot cycle, in our Carnot cycle consists of a reversible isothermal process in which Q1 enters the system reversibly at constant temperature source at T1. Okay, and next 1 to 2 is a isothermal heat enters to the system, and next B topic, a reversible adiabatic process, that is in which work done is done by the system adiabatically and reversibly at the expense of its internal energy. That is 2 to 3 process. Here in this Carnot cycle, we have two isothermal process and two adiabatic processes. Okay, first of all, I will give a clear explanation in a diagram. So here, this is a compressor. In our compressor we will give to the work, and this is a turbine. A turbine is worked on by the system. That is, we will give the work here for compressor, for running of compressor, and we will get the work from the turbine, and it generated to the generator, and out and it gives us electricity. So this is a temperature enters. So temperature enters, and heat exchangers it gives, and heat exchangers it gives it rejects the heat to the heat exchanger, and heat adds to the temperature source. Okay, so 1 to 2 is the heat and test. So here temperature source, 1 to 2 heat enters, 1 to 2 heat enters, and it goes to the turbine, and it expansion here. Then after it goes to the heat exchanger, and it rejects the heat, rejects heat in heat exchanger, and it went to the and it went to the compressor. So this is the process we are expressed here. This is our ideal gas. Ideal gas, first of all, what should we do? First, we 1 to 2 process isothermal heat enters to the system. This is process heat enters to the system. And 2 to 3 expansion, this is turbine. So 2 to 3 adiabatic expansion in the turbine, and 3 to 4, that is heat exchanger, and heat rejects here, 3 to 4. And 4 to 1, 4 to 1 is a compression work, so this is 4 to 1. So this all process we will take on PV diagram. This is pressure and volume. 1 to 2 heat enters, 2 to 3, 2 to 3 is adiabatic process, and 3 to 4 isothermal heat rejects, and 4 to 1 is, and 4 to 1 and 4 to 1 is adiabatic, and 4 to 1 is adiabatic compression. So 1 to 2 heat enters, isothermal heat enters, and at constant temperature. 2 to 3 adiabatic expansion, and 3 to 4 is isothermal heat rejection, and 4 to 1 adiabatic compression. So those are all the process. Here we can observe one thing. Here 1 to 2 and 3 to 4 having only the heating, because of what is the term of adiabatic? So the term which represents adiabatic, there is no heat enter or leave, so that is the meaning of adiabatic. So Q is equal to 0, there is no heat enters and leaving, that is the meaning of adiabatic. Here in these processes we will consider heat is only for 1 to 2 and 3 to 4 process only. So understand. So for 1 to 2 is isothermal heat enters, and 3 to 4 isothermal heat rejection at constant temperatures. And in adiabatic means there is no heat transfer and release in the system. So which means Q2 to 3 and Q4 to 1. 4 to 1 is 0. 0. Okay. Here you can observe 1 to 2. So here actually for second law of thermodynamics, first law of thermodynamics, Q is equal to W plus internal energy. So U2 minus U1 plus W1 to 2 process, and for 2 to 3 is nothing but adiabatic. So where the term we can see that word adiabatic, which means Q is equal to 0, because of there is no heat enters and leaves in the system. So Q is equal to 0, U3 minus U2 plus W2 to 3. And here also 3 to 4 heat rejection, which is heat rejection, that means of indicate, we indicate negative sign, minus Q2 is equal to U4 minus U3 minus W3 for 3 to 4. And next, actually this is plus not minus, there is some mistake, this is plus. Okay. And next, a reversible adiabatic process in which work, so because of this is adiabatic process, here also we have no any value of Q 0, and U1 minus U4 is plus. Actually plus my plus indicates there is negative. So here oh sorry, negative is there, because of we will because of it is rejection, we can subtract both sides, so that is a minus 3 to 4. Here it is compression work, so our work done is a negative because of our compression, because of work is given to the system, so that is why we will get W 4 to 1, so, correct. And so U1 minus U4 minus W 4 to 1. So finally what is our work done on network, where the work is happened, and compression and compression and turbine only, so that is turbine work minus compression work. So turbine work is Q1, and pump work or compression work is Q2. So that is for Carnot cycle. In our Carnot cycle we have two isothermal heater process and two adiabatic process. Okay. And next, we are discussing about the reversible engines operating between two reservoirs. Okay, two reservoirs. And Carnot's theorem. It is impossible to construct an engine operate between only two heat reservoirs, which will have higher efficiency than a reversible engine operating between the same two reservoirs. Actually, we are taken. Actually, what we know. So one reservoir, sink and source is there. So in our sink and source, only one engine we can run. But in our Carnot theorem, it can run two engines at a time and using only one sink and one source. So and it which will have higher efficiency than a reversible engine. So how it is possible? Whatever the two engines or two engines we will take, three engines we will take. Or if a reversible engine is ultimately efficiency is 100%. It will never change. And when it is competitive between any engines compared to the reversible, whenever with the reversible engine is a higher efficiency. So but our Carnot theorem says that our our reversible engine is less than the other engines. So is it possible? Not possible. So that is our Carnot theorem. So here this is one heat engine and this is another heat engine, but this engine is reversible and this engine is irreversible. Here this is a source and a sink, and source and sink is same for two engines. This is reversible engine, this is irreversible engine. Okay, so in our irreversible engine, heat is supplied from the heat source and given to the system, and it gives the work done, and finally rejection is Q1 minus Wx. And another here here also reversible engine Q1 Q1 minus WR, because of R represents reversible engine and WR. What should I do here? What should I do here? Here I will make change. Here our reversible engine take as heat pump. This is heat engine and this is heat pump. Okay, here those are the two systems. One system is reversible, one system is irreversible. That is the process. And next B diagram, what will I make a change? Here this is a heat engine and this is a heat pump. Here our heat engine takes from higher temperature to lower temperature and give the work done, and your heat pump takes temperature takes place from lower temperature to higher temperature. And if you want to take lower temperature to higher temperature, definitely will supply of energy. So that supply of energy takes place from heat engine, and this energy and this work done and this work is given to the engine. So this is a third diagram. So here uh, those what I explained here. So according to the second law, this is impossible, and assumption efficiency of X is greater than efficiency of R cannot be true. Consequently, original preposition must be. So what that this diagram says that, so if you take this diagram like that, the efficiency of X is a heat engine, that is nothing but irreversible, and this is we will and this diagram we consider as reversible engine. Our efficiency is our efficiency as a irreversible engine is greater than reversible engine for Carnot theorem. Is it possible? Not possible. That is the according to the second law. This is impossible. So efficiency of irreversible is greater than efficiency of reversible is not possible. And next corollary 3, what says? All reversible engines operating between the same two reservoirs having the same efficiency, or reversible operating between the same two reservoirs having the same efficiency. Since all reversible engines operating between same two reservoirs having the same efficiency, this efficiency must depend only on only feature which is common to them all, the temperature of reservoir. This is called Carnot efficiency. This is the same reservoirs and it get the same efficiency. Okay, it is called so all reversible engines operating between the same two reservoirs having the same efficiency, the efficiency must be depend upon only on the feature which is common to them all. The temperature of the reservoirs is called Carnot efficiency. So that is the corollary 3. And this is a thermodynamic cycle. So what is our thermodynamic cycle? Actually two engines are there, so two engines. So these two engines, one is a Q1 and it is runs one engine and it takes supply heat to from another engine, and this is another engine, and two when we combine with the two engines and it runs the third engine. Okay, so supplied heat from Q1 and rejected to T3, that is rejected heat is Q3. So this 1 and 2 engines combined to run another engine 3. So that is the meaning. Okay, so the next is so that is the meaning of corollary 3. So what is it? All reversible engines operating between the same two reservoirs having the same efficiency. So that is the meaning of that is if these two are one engine, this one and first engine, second engine. So these two engines combined with run the another engine. These two engines combined with run the another engines, and third, so this having these two having one same efficiency, and combined, so two are combined and it give the and it run the another engine and it also give the same efficiency. That is the corollary 3 for Carnot cycle. So that efficiency we call as Carnot cycle efficiency. And next, thermodynamic temperature scale. So this is hot reservoir, cold reservoir, heat supply Q naught, Q1, and work done Q. So what is the meaning of that? So what do we know the efficiency? Efficiency is work done by heat supplied. So work done is nothing but Q naught minus Q1. Sorry, Q naught minus Q1. Q naught minus Q1, work done is Q naught minus Q1 by Q naught. So that is 1 minus Q1 by Q naught. So that is our efficiency. So there is no meaning of that. There is the meaning of the thermodynamic scale. So that is only the Q1 by Q2. The Q1 by Q2 is a function of T1 temperature. It's a function of temperature. So if you replace Q1 by Q2, so replace with T1 by T1. So that is the meaning of Q1 by Q2 is equal to function of T1 comma T2. If Q1 by Q2 function of T1 comma T2, Q1 by Q2 function of T1 to T2. At the same way T2 T2 to 3 function of 2 to 3. At the same what is also Q1 to Q3 function of T1 T3. So that is the meaning of Q1 by Q3 is we can write as Q1 Q2 Q2 Q3. So function of T1 T3 is equal to function of T1 T2 into function of T2 T3. So finally what do you want to say that, so if the efficiency is 1 minus QL by QH, we will replace QL by QH with TL by TH because of Q1 by Q2 is a function of T1 by T2. So that is the diagram. So if just the replace what the same the symbols having, we just replace Q with a T. If Q is measured with several sinks at different temperatures and plotted against the relationship Q and T, we obtain a temperature scale which is linear in Q. The temperature scale so different is called. So we have the several sinks with different temperatures with a graph. So Q and T, Q and Q. So y-axis and heat supplies and x-axis and temperatures with a different number of engines. So those are all the some points for second law of thermodynamics. So today this is our class and we will take all this. Okay. So second law tells us the direct law spontaneous. The second law gives the maximum possible efficiency of a heat engine refrigerator, a reversible process one in which both system and surroundings can be returned to their original state. So those are all some points so we can understand easily. So I hope we understand. I hope you understand, students. Thank you.